See? See, No. Standing by the window inside a closed down building.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
From encountering dangerous criminals to encountering paranormal activities, cops have to face it all in the line of duty. Have you ever wondered what happens when cops realize they encounter paranormal activity? Do they get terrified or handle the situation with bravery? We will find out soon. On August 23rd, 2021, this security guard was watching over a shutdown area in the hospital. It was midnight. There were no patients or nurses around. This security guard had the eerie feeling that he still wasn't alone. What's about to happen next will surely confirm his doubts. What you just witnessed is only a wheelchair standing in a hallway. Nothing is terrifying about that until this next moment. At first, it was slow, just a slight shift. But then it rolled forward, as if pushed by invisible hands.
Come on. See? See, No.
Yes, the wheelchair started moving by itself when no one was around. His heart pounded in his chest, and he could not look away. There was no one there. No patient. No nurse. Nothing but the empty chair, moving down the hall as if something unseen was sitting in it.
See? See, No.
The security guard definitely won't work during night shifts again. With that being said, let's move on to our next case. On April 19th, 2023, a terrifying video was uploaded on YouTube. It showed how a security guard handed balloons to kids and they even ran after him as if they were playing. Doesn't sound horror at all, right? The terrifying part is that there were no kids around him. There was no one around, and a surveillance camera was recording him. Kids weren't invisible in the camera, and only balloons were running after him. Was he encountering ghost kids that were only visible to him and no one else? He was even talking to them. This security guard was encountering paranormal creatures without knowing. Moving on to our next case. On September 30th, 2023, these cops were called to an abandoned building that had been closed down for quite a time. Locals claimed that no one was allowed to enter the building, but it's being noticed these days due to paranormal activities around it.
2 security guards were working the night shift when this happened. From unknown sources, this horrifying video shows 2 security guards investigating what looks like a person's.
2 security guards noticed someone standing by the window. They weren't sure if it was a man, a woman, or some paranormal creature, but whatever it was surely very creepy.
Standing by the window inside a closed down building.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
One of the security guards went up to check inside the building, but he was about to regret his decision. The security guard kept asking them to open the door, but the creatures were only throwing things inside the apartment. They weren't willing to let the security guard in. He kept asking, but there was no response except the sound of smashing things.
Did you throw that?
Throw what, dude? I just heard something.
Something just threw across the room.
Security! Please open the door. I know you're in there.
Someone just got thrown again.
No, I didn't. Security, I know you're in there. What was that?
Yeah, what was that noise?
I don't know, dude. It was a squeak noise.
What a horrifying experience. Were those some paranormal creatures trying to scare the guards? On February 21st, 2023, this video got uploaded on YouTube, and every single person who watched it was left speechless. A ghost this close to us. So this security guard was working on a night shift when he was caught on camera talking to someone.
A night guard was patrolling the area alone, and he swears he was talking to an old lady. Luis Alvarez uploaded a video taken from a security camera where a man can be seen waving to someone in the dark. He sees someone we can't see. He goes over to open the door for what he would later describe as a lost old.
It looked like he was talking to someone and trying to help who was lost. But who was it? According to the security footage, there was no one around. As soon as he talked to someone on the phone, he came to know that he was all alone.
It happens. He runs off the building after the horrifying realization.
He ran for his life when the elevator wasn't coming down. He ran out of the building, and people say he didn't work in the building after this paranormal encounter. What he claimed as an old-age woman trying to find her way back home was just a ghost. With that being said, let's move on to our fifth paranormal activity. On January 7th, 2019, Alex Nunez, an Armory security officer at the San Francisco Armory for over 5 years, experienced something he would never forget. The building, long rumored to be haunted, had always seemed quiet during his shifts, until that night. As he patrolled the empty halls, he suddenly heard the unmistakable sound of chairs moving in the lounge. There shouldn't have been anyone there. Gripping his phone, he started recording, his heart pounding as he walked toward the source of the noise. When he reached the lounge, he paused. Then, without warning, the two heavy doors to the lounge creaked open, swinging inward as if someone or something had passed through. Alex froze, staring at the empty room. The windows were all shut tight.
Oh, hell no. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I'm here in this building by myself, bruh. By myself.
He was completely alone, but the sound of footsteps echoed in his mind. In that chilling moment, he knew something was there, watching him from the shadows. With that being said, let's move on to our next case. On December 29th, 2020, this video went viral on YouTube as it contained the real footage of a security guard being haunted by ghosts. According to the guard, a guest passed away a few months ago in this hotel, and afterward, paranormal activities started happening in the hotel.
I swear to God, I heard a woman talking.
This was just some unknown moments behind him, but a few nights later, his worst nightmare came true.
Nights later, things get worse.
Hello? Oh my god, what the f? What the?
Just when he was checking the staircase, he was returning after making sure no one was there. But he listened to footsteps. The sound was first on a low note, but then it got louder, as if someone was trying to quickly escalate from the stairs. The security guard ran. He had to. He just ran for his life. Who knows what waited for him on those stairs? Moving on to our 7th paranormal encounter. On September 14th, 2024, these security guards were talking outside in the open air with their car standing right next to them. Meanwhile, they were talking when a strange dark shadow approached them. All three of them were able to see it. But what happens next will shock you. One of the guards, Officer David Rodriguez, claimed that this shadow was only seen afterward on the security footage. The guards were even able to walk across it. They were freaked out.
There in all black can be seen standing ominously in the dark. As the security guards go talk to the individual, this happens.
Exactamente ahí está haciendo su movimiento, ahí está.
This strange shadow figure remains completely still. Unable to see anyone there, they try to make contact, only to face right through it. Whatever this thing is, it's only seen through camera. So is it a glitch, or did the guards receive a late-night visit?
As this creature was only visible on camera, so was it a glitch in the Matrix, or something paranormal that was really this close to the officers? Let's move on to our next case. On April 15th, 2024, working the night shift at the hotel had always been quiet. But that night was different. The security guard had been asked to check the warehouse, a dark, cold space at the far end of the property. He hated going there. It always felt wrong, like someone was watching him. But tonight, it felt worse.
Hey, Spooky.
As he walked through the narrow aisles, his flashlight flickered. The silence was thick, the only sound of his footsteps echoing off the concrete walls. Then, out of nowhere, a voice cut through the air, sharp and angry. "Get out!" It was loud, close and furious. His blood turned to ice. There was no one around, no reason for anyone to be there.
Something had tugged on his shirt, but doesn't know why. Even more strange as he heard a clear voice say, "Get out," as soon as he entered the attic. What do you guys think?
He didn't wait to hear it again. Heart racing, he turned and sprinted out of the warehouse, the voice still echoing in his mind. Whatever it was, it wanted him gone. And he wasn't about to argue with it. On October 4th, 2017, a chilling encounter was caught on camera. A real witch, or so they say, spotted on a silent road in Saudi Arabia. The road is known for dark stories of witches wandering in the shadows, scaring travelers who dared to cross.
شوف دور 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 شايف لفلخ افلخ افلخ اقدر خلاص
That night, a car was driving down the empty road when, suddenly, the headlights caught something strange. A figure stood in the middle of the road, totally in black, its face hidden. The driver's heart raced as the figure moved slowly towards the car. No one knew if it was human or something worse. The driver quickly sped off, but the eerie feeling followed him long after, as if the witch was still watching.
Reverse.
Believe it or not, this road has terrified many, and after this encounter, it was clear. Some things are better left unexplored. The driver left and he drove back to save his life, but who knows if he ever made it out of that road. On the 16th of May, 2018, in Tomás Adolfo Ducos Stadium in Buenos Aires, a night shift security guard, Raúl Arguello, 32 years old, was on duty when he heard a strange noise coming from the dressing rooms. The door keeps opening and slamming shut on its own, as if someone or something is inside, making those sounds purposely. Arguello grabbed his phone and started recording, but didn't expect to record this instead.
Bueno, ya son como las 11 de la noche y la tercera vez que estoy escuchando este ruido de mierda. No sé qué está pasando, pero lo quiero grabar ahora para que después me crea la gente, porque esto nunca me pasó y nada, lo quería grabar, qué sé yo, y podrido, la concha de la lora. Digo, en linterna, no sé para qué enviar la clase. Dios.
The door made a strange noise as he opened it, but inside there was nothing, just empty benches and silence. But then something chilling happened. As Raúl reviews the footage later, he notices something he didn't see before. A ghostly shadow, barely visible, quickly moving across the benches and disappearing through the wall.
Puta que te parió. La puta que te parió. Concha de la lora. La concha de la lora. Pero ¿cómo mierda puede ser que no haya nada? Ay. Ya es la tercera vez.
What did Raúl capture on his phone? Was it just a trick of the light? Or did he knowingly film a restless spirit haunting the stadium? The eerie footage, with the ghostly figure crossing the room, sends shivers down the spine.
Tercera vez que entro y no hay nada. Dios, me quiero ir. Quiero ir.
Whatever it was, it's left Raul and anyone who watches the video wondering what other secrets the old stadium might be hiding. These chilling encounters remind us that the line between the living and the unknown is thinner than we think. From haunted hospitals and warehouses to eerie roads and abandoned buildings, these cases show that the supernatural can strike when least expected. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, these spine-tingling moments make you wonder what truly lurks in the shadows. Stay safe, and remember, sometimes it's better not to know. What would you do if you saw something you couldn't explain? From ghostly hands to eerie figures caught on tape, these are the moments when even the strongest doubted reality. Are you ready to witness the unexplainable? On September 30th, 2022, in the San Francisco Armory, for 5 years, a night guard worked alone in the quiet, empty halls of the San Francisco Armory. The building had a history of strange stories, but he had always ignored them.
You're gonna want to watch this. Armory security officer Alex Nunez has worked for the San Francisco Armory for the last 5 years.
One night, as he was moving around, a loud scraping sound broke the silence. He saw chairs in the main hall moving by themselves. Chills ran down his spine, but he told himself it could be a mistake.
Throughout his tenure of working the night shift, he's experienced and reported paranormal activities.
Grabbing his flashlight, he walked to the hall. The air felt cold, and the silence was heavy. The chairs were scattered, but no one was there. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed behind him. A heavy door had slammed open, though no one was near it.
The video you're watching is just one of those occurrences. He is currently working the graveyard shift when he heard chairs being shuffled all around. The problem is he's the only person in the building.
He froze. The door moved again, creaking slowly shut and then swinging open. It wasn't random. It felt as if someone or something was there. With his heart pounding, he rushed back to the surveillance room. Watching the footage, he saw the chairs move and the door open, but no one was visible. No wind, no shadows, nothing.
Armory security officer Alex Nunez has worked for the San Francisco Armory for the last 5 years. Throughout his tenure of working the night shift, he's experienced and reported paranormal activities. The video you're watching is just one of those occurrences. He is currently working the graveyard shift when he heard chairs being shuffled all around. The problem is he's the only person in the building. He pulled out his phone to record and saw these doors open by themselves.
That night, the Armory felt more alive than ever. For the first time, the guard truly believed the stories might be real. With that being said, let's move on to our second piece of paranormal footage. On April 28th, 2022, a man was walking alone near a quiet cemetery, passing by on a dark evening. He wasn't expecting anything out of the ordinary, just trying to get through the night. As he walked along the road, he felt a strange chill in the air. It was then that he noticed something at the bottom of the hill. At first, it seemed like a shadow, moving quickly from left to right, toward the woods.
Alright, West Hill Cemetery. Get the high beams on. We're supposed to see 3 or 4 spirits are supposed to run across.
His heart started to race as he watched. The figure was hard to make out, but it was clear it wasn't just the wind. There was something, or someone, down there, moving fast and disappearing into the trees.
Road. turn next time go kind of slow. So we're going to see what we catch. Because I don't think it's ever been caught on film, and I've heard the legend.
He stood frozen, staring at the spot, but the figure was gone. The silence around him felt thicker now, almost suffocating.
Never personally saw anything, but it's a slow, we can turn right here, sharp. You're supposed to see it out there.
He hurried away, but the image of the shadow stayed with him long after. Even to this day, he couldn't explain what he had seen, but he knew one thing for sure. Something paranormal had crossed his path that night. Let's move on to our third piece of paranormal footage. On February 8th, 2022, a security guard working late in a quiet building had an unsettling experience. He was sitting alone at his desk when he began talking to someone who appeared out of nowhere.
Okay, watch this, y'all. This man, he called his boss asking him, why didn't y'all tell me they had a new employee, right? He constantly looking back, right? He's talking to somebody, right?
An employee passing by stopped in confusion. He saw the guard speaking to someone, but there was no one there. The guard seemed to be speaking to an invisible person, offering them a seat to sit down. The employee watched, unsure what to make of it. But when they checked the surveillance footage, it was even more chilling. The shadow of a person could be seen on the floor, yet no living person was around.
Just watch, this is creepy. Look, having a whole conversation with somebody, right? Saying that somebody came and he dapping that person off and everything. Now see, look, y'all see when he dapped them off, look what happened.
The guard, unaware of what was happening, thought he was speaking to a new coworker, but the truth was much darker. A spirit had been standing there, communicating with him.
He dapped them off. You see that shadow? And then the shadow goes over here, and he pulling the chair out for him. He swore to God he sat there and had a whole conversation with this person. He moved over, talking to him and everything. Y'all better protect yourselves. Whatever that was took advantage of him.
It's clear now there is more to this world than meets the eye. And sometimes, what seems ordinary is anything but. On July 4th, 2023, a chilling moment was caught on camera in a hospital room in Argentina. The room was empty. No patients were inside, yet something strange happened. A ghostly figure moved across the bed as if it was still alive. The figure appeared to shift and rearrange itself, as though it occupied the bed, even though no one was there. Doctors and nurses in the hospital have long suspected that it's haunted. Many patients, still alive, have seen strange things in the halls and rooms, and this video seems to be proof. Could this be the afterlife? Is this what happens when we no longer exist physically on Earth? The eerie movement of the figure in the room has raised many questions. Some believe the spirit may still be tied to the hospital, wandering where it once lived. The video captures something beyond our understanding, a reminder that there is more to this world than we can explain. What do you think? Could this be the answer to what happens after we die? Or is it just another mystery? With these questions still tingling in our minds, let's move on to our next piece of paranormal footage. On the cold night of November 26th, 2018, a security officer was working alone in a building when something terrifying happened. As he was walking through the halls, he noticed a strange cold breeze near the elevator. He thought he could follow it, trying to track where it came from, but the breeze stopped near the elevator, and the officer felt uneasy, thinking it was just the storm outside.
The storm is so bad that ghost had to go upstairs. Look at the bottom right. Look.
He turned back, but something strange happened. As he walked away, he felt a sudden, cold touch on his back. His heart raced as he realized that no one was around. He turned quickly, but no one was there. The air felt heavy, and the temperature dropped even more.
There you go. Look at that bitch. It was cold. I'm like, oh shit. I wanted to follow it and feel. See, I'm trying to feel, like, follow the cold breeze. I saw it going towards the elevator, so I went there.
The officer tried to ignore it, thinking it was just his imagination, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was following him. As he walked back towards the stairs, the feeling grew stronger. The presence was so close, but he couldn't see anything. The chill in the air seemed to follow him wherever he went.
It was actually a cold breeze towards the elevator, then it just stopped. So I'm like, damn. Shit. So I walked back, thinking the motherfucker was gone. I guess he didn't want me to follow it. So I'm like, okay. Then something touched me. I'm like, what the fuck? Something fucking touched me. I'm still trying to see, like, where is it at? Like, it vanished, so how is it still touching me or something? I don't know. It's creepy.
He finally decided it was enough. He needed to get upstairs to warmer areas, away from whatever haunted the building. But the cold feeling remained, as if something, or someone, was watching him.
So I'm like, okay. Well, at least I saw it and followed it for a little moment. Then it went to vanish. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, go ahead and take your ass upstairs and get warm, motherfucker.
Was it a ghost, or a spirit that wanted to make contact? The officer couldn't explain what had happened, but he knew one thing for sure. The building was not as empty as it seemed. Some of your questions will be answered in this upcoming footage. For months, the house had been silent. No creaks in the night, no sudden movements, no reason to feel uneasy. But on April 23rd, 2019, the eerie calm was broken. The mysterious white mist returned, just as it had months before.
Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while. That's because ain't nothing been happening.
It began with a faint movement caught on camera. A thin, ghostly streak darted across the room. The owner barely had time to register what he saw. Is it back? He wondered, his heart pounding. He rewound the footage, and there it was, a pale apparition moving through the air, silent and unnatural.
So far, my last upload was when that spray, that air freshener spray on the wall came down, and it's been up there for years, so I couldn't explain that one. Either it was getting too old and the tape got too old.
The mist seemed to come from the same corner as before, the one that always felt cooler than the rest of the building. It was there for just a second, then vanished, leaving no trace. He scanned the area, hoping to find something, anything to explain it, but it was gone.
Fell off or whatever, so maybe it could be explained, maybe it couldn't, but this time it was, the usual, like before, the white mist slinging past randomly without me, like, I caught a glimpse of it on the camera at the last minute, and I was like, oh, look who's back. So I don't know, but them came back. It's gonna come from the...
It was as if the mist had a pattern, showing up every few months, teasing its presence but refusing to reveal more. This time, It felt closer, as if it wanted to remind him it hadn't left this place.
So come from that direction right there. I'm like, what? Look. See it? Right there. That's when I noticed it on the camera right there. That's when I'm like, welcome back. So I had to see if I was able to see it. I was like, nope, it was gone. I was like, wow. I was like, what the? It's like it's starting to show up every 6 months or a few months or something. So, yeah. So anything happens, I'll be sure to post it for y'all. So that's why I haven't been posting, because ain't nothing been happening. So, yeah.
The building was quiet again, but the air was heavy with the feeling that the mist would return when it was ready. With that being said, let's move on to our next eerie footage of cops being haunted by ghosts. Officer Tim Saver was no stranger to late nights as a police officer, but April 7th, 2023 was unlike anything he had faced before. His quiet shift turned into something out of a nightmare. It started in a dimly lit storage room at the station. While checking the area, Tim froze when he heard faint scratching. Turning toward the sound, he saw something that made his blood run cold. A pair of pale, ghostly hands emerged from the shadows. They scraped along the wall, leaving a faint, chilling sound that echoed in the small room. The hands didn't belong to anyone. They had no arms or body, just floating appendages that moved eerily. Before Tim could react, they vanished into the darkness, leaving him staring at the wall. Shaking, he flipped on the lights, hoping to find an explanation. But the wall was spotless, with no scratches, no marks, no signs that anything had been there. The room felt emptier than before, with a haunting atmosphere. Officer Tim couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't alone. The event haunted him for days, replaying in his mind. The hands weren't just strange, they were unnatural, impossible. Whatever he saw wasn't human, and the fear it left behind was enough for Tim to leave the job he once loved. Moving on to our 8th piece of paranormal footage. On January 28th, 2023, it was late at night, and the security guard had been at his post for hours. He fell asleep with the stick resting in his hand, and the quiet around him was undisturbed. But then, the surveillance camera saw something strange. A white apparition appeared near the iron gate. It didn't open the gate. It simply walked through the locked bars and disappeared into the shadows. The guard woke suddenly when his stick fell to the ground with a loud thud. He woke up, he looked around, but saw no one. Everything was still. The gate was locked, and nothing seemed out of place. A chill ran down his spine, and he froze in fear. He picked up his stick, trying to shake off the fear, but the strange feelings stayed with him. That night, he couldn't forget the sense that something or someone unseen had been there. To this day, the story of the ghostly figure crossing the gate remains a mystery. With that being said, let's move on to our 9th piece of footage. On July 25th, 2024, a security guard was doing his usual checks at a hospital late at night. The building was quiet, with most patients and staff asleep. As he walked down one of the long hallways, he noticed someone at the far end. The person looked like they were walking slowly, but something about it felt strange.
Ghost in hallway of haunted hospital.
The guard called out, but there was no answer. When he took a few steps closer, the figure suddenly disappeared right in front of his eyes. Confused, he checked the area, looking into nearby rooms. Everything was empty. Then he saw the figure again, this time in another hallway. It moved for a moment, then vanished again. The guard felt uneasy but kept searching. There was no sign of anyone, no sound and no explanation. By the end of his shift, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had seen something he wasn't meant to. On July 18th, 2022, the Kentucky Police Department received disturbing footage. The video showed an eerie creature that was neither human nor animal. Not only that, the creature was moving around in a very strange manner. Locals were terrified after witnessing such a video from their neighborhood. No one can figure out what it was, but its way of moving shows that it was looking for something. It sends chills down the spine of anyone who watches for more than a minute. Locals also claim of having witnessed paranormal activity around their homes after this footage went viral.
You see his face clearly. Right there.
This mysterious figure left the internet puzzled as well. These chilling encounters remind us that the line between the known and the unknown is thinner than we think. From ghostly hands to mysterious apparitions, these moments left even the bravest in disbelief. Which story shook you the most?
I saw it again this time. Watch. It come from, see, there you go. I'm looking dead at it.
From encountering evil criminals to encountering ghosts, cops have to face it all in their line of duty. Have you ever wondered what happens when cops realize they encountered a ghost, but it was too late? Do they get terrified or handle the situation with bravery? We will find it out soon, as this video is going to reveal it all. On July 20th, 2023, the Brazilian Police Department responded to a call about a noise disturbance. The locals thought it might be due to annoying neighbors living across them, but it was much more than that. Little did the cops know they would encounter this after finally reaching there.
Mano, que é isso, bicho?
No humans were living inside that house. The doors were banging independently, though there were no signs of winds.
Caralho, mano, bora, mano. Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, mano, vai, mano.
Law enforcement officers stepped in to see if there was any human involvement there, but not soon after they realized what they had encountered was paranormal. They discovered a ghost there, or probably some other creature trying to destroy the peace of this neighborhood.
Vai, mano.
Things started to fall on their own. It was very clear that the ghost didn't like them there. They knew they had to run as fast as possible. What a horrifying experience indeed. Moving on to our second case. On May 20th, 2018, in Trstenik, Serbia. Trstenik Police Department had an unusual visit from a woman late at night. The woman claimed that someone was following her to the town fair, but that was not all, because she added that the stalker was jumping from streetlight to streetlight, as if it didn't want to go in the dark. It freaked out everyone there, but they decided to investigate. What they found out was shocking.
To nikad nije bilo do sada. Koliko prate? Evo lepo na ovome.
Evo uđe dežur.
Evo, ti je lakše misli. Ne je niko da napravi uskoro. Nije u dežurnu, dole od trojku kod mene.
Uvatio ga. Gledaj sam, gledaj sam.
Izađe kao iz zida.
Izađe u dežurnu. To mi žena jedna tako pričala da nju pratila kad išli na vašar. Ja sam se zabavao. Kao Dragoš ide po banderama i ide za njim.
Not soon after they received the complaint, the cops found something strange in the surveillance camera footage. A creepy white shadow with an abnormal figure trying to enter the doors of the station. It was jumping from door to door. The officers must not have thought about a ghost stalking the woman. Would it be that creature following the lady? Was it all a paranormal encounter? With this creepy footage, moving on to our third case. On October 1st, 2018, a hospital guard was on night duty. He was being checked by another guard who was observing surveillance cameras all around the hospital. Soon he realized the presence of something that wasn't human at all. It was something else.
I saw it again this time. Watch. It come from, see, there you go. I'm looking dead at it.
You might have noticed a white shadow walking through the transparent doors and crossing the guard sitting at the front desk. The guard didn't have the slightest idea that he wasn't alone there.
I guess it came. I waved at it like, you know, I ain't really getting scared now, shit. So I'm just tired of seeing it. I guess it's too cold outside, and he was like, fuck it.
When he noticed the moment of the camera, he even waved at it. He was trying to assure the guard on the back of the camera that no one was there, but something was there.
He's just gonna go inside, go get on a goddamn sweater or something. So it is kind of chilly out here in Chicago right now. And I'm like, okay. So
the guard made himself busy again by working on the computer. Though he was surrounded by paranormal activities he didn't know.
He probably was like, fuck this, it's cold out here. But saw him again.
Moving on to our fourth terrifying encounter with cops. On 21st October 2022, in Karachi, Pakistan, a local police department witnessed something that they would never forget. When everyone was busy doing their jobs, a van parked outside the station made a strange noise. It wasn't coming from the van, but it was in the direction of it. Little did they know they would encounter this strange creature outside. A ghost wearing clothes, with its hair open flying everywhere, its feet not touching anything, with bright shiny eyes. It creeped out everyone around that late night. How possibly could a human stand straight on a windshield? It just doesn't make sense. What they were witnessing was something paranormal, something that didn't belong to this world. Let's move on to our fifth encounter. On the 16th of May, 2018, in Tom's Adolfo Duco Stadium in Buenos Aires, a night shift security guard, Raul Arguello, 32 years old, was on duty when he heard a strange noise coming from the dressing rooms. The door keeps opening and slamming shut on its own, as if someone or something is inside making those sounds purposely. Arguello grabbed his phone and started recording, but didn't expect to record this instead.
Bueno, ya son como las 11 de la noche y la tercera vez que estoy escuchando este ruido de mierda. No sé qué está pasando, pero lo quiero grabar ahora para que después me crea la gente, porque esto nunca me pasó y nada, lo quería grabar. No sé yo, estoy podrido, la concha de la lora. Digo, mi linterna, no sé para qué quiero la traje. Dios.
The door made a strange noise as he opened it, but inside there was nothing, just empty benches and silence. But then, something chilling happens. As Raul reviews the footage later, he notices something he didn't see before, a ghostly shadow, barely visible, quickly moving across the benches and disappearing through the wall.
Puta que te parió. La puta que te parió. Concha de la lora. La concha de la lora. Pero ¿cómo mierda puede ser que no haya nada? Ay. Ya es la tercera vez.
What did Raul capture on his phone? Was it just a trick of the light, or did he knowingly film a restless spirit haunting the stadium? The eerie footage, with the ghostly figure crossing the room, sends shivers down the spine. Whatever it was, it's left Raul and anyone who watches the video wondering what other secrets the old stadium might be hiding. With that being said, let's move on to our sixth horrifying encounter. On February 10th, 2023, a security guard at hospital recorded a strange encounter that happened to him and uploaded it on social media. He was so terrified about paranormal activities happening around him during his shifts.
Did this security guard meet a ghost?
As you see, there's nothing creepy at the start, but there are unexplainable movements happening around him. Is he surrounded by ghosts? Well, you are going to get your answer soon.
Come on.
See, I fucking don't. No.
Yes, the wheelchair started moving on its own. If the moment was straight or backwards, we could say it is staged, but the chair turned in an abnormal direction that couldn't be possible if it was scripted or recorded purposely.
Come
on. See, I fucking don't. No.
The guard ran for his life. He must save himself before any other paranormal encounter. With that being said, let's move on to our next case. On April 19th, 2023, a terrifying video got uploaded on YouTube. It shows how a security guard handed balloons to kids, and they even ran after him, as if they were playing. Doesn't sound horror at all, right? The terrifying part is that there were no kids around him. There was no one around. He was being recorded by a surveillance camera. Kids weren't visible in the camera, and only balloons were running after him. was he encountering ghost kids that were only visible to him and no one else. He was even talking to them. This security guard was encountering paranormal creatures without knowing. Moving on to our seventh case. On July 8th, 2018, a security guard working in a closed mall during late-night shift encountered something he could possibly never imagined. When every door of the mall was closed and there was no one inside, something caught eye of the security guard.
Olha aí, eu não disse, ó. Olha ela ali. Já é a segunda vez essa semana, ó. Eu tive que filmar para mostrar.
A woman in white, with her hair down, she directly walked towards the escalator, not knowing that she was being recorded. Though all escalators were closed, the one she was on was working properly.
Mostrar que ninguém acredita em mim. Meu Deus do céu. Meu Deus do céu.
The brave security guard ran right after her, but he was about to regret his decision real soon.
Meu Deus do céu.
Ai, meu Jesus! Ai, 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 meu Deus!
When he was trying to search that creature on escalator, she was right behind him. How did she get there? When security guard himself witnessed him going to the other floor, was she a real ghost? On October 10th, 2023, a simple traffic stop turned into a horrible encounter for this cop. The footage shocked the whole police department and later became questionable to the public as well. It was recorded by bodycam and dashcam. No one could claim that it was fake.
I didn't even see it.
Right.
This is my first time being pulled over.
All right. Can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so...
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's
okay.
A birthday party. So,
got it.
Not mine, but...
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just a normal routine traffic stop. The cop asked for a license and registration. But as soon as he turned towards his patrol car to run the information, this happened.
Your registration is What the?
Sarah?
What the heck? Sarah? 3201.
The girl Sarah just disappeared like that into the air. The dashcam shows no sign of any door of her car open or anything like that. There was no one around who had helped Sarah escape. It's as creepy as it sounds. Or maybe there's a glitch in the matrix, but no one is talking about it.
Your registration is What the?
Sarah?
What the heck? Sarah? 3201.
Didn't even see it.
All right.
This is my first time being pulled over.
All right. Can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so...
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's
okay.
A birthday party. So,
got it.
Not mine, but...
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Did some unknown creature take her? From that day onwards, there was no sign of a girl named Sarah. Cops weren't able to trace her ID. Her true identity remains a mystery. Whether the sky engulfed her or the earth took her, Sarah's mystery remains like that. On April 11th, 2017, in Melaka, Malaysia, freaky incident happened just after 4 a.m. at the Bandar Hilir police station in Melaka, Malaysia. No one had expected this to happen when every cop was busy on the late night shift.
Ya. Jadi. Cik dengan siapa, Cik? Cik dengan siapa? Cik Rahmat.
This eerie clip shows officers jumping up and going to investigate after the glass entrance doors open, though no one's standing outside or nearby. If you look closely, the door opens in the opposite direction than the way it usually opens.
Jadi report ni cik nak tunjuk pada pihak honor balik. Pihak honor balik lah.
The entrance-exit doors opened simultaneously, but in the opposite direction. People claimed that the ghost died in the station coming back to take revenge. The officers quickly went towards the door, but it was of no use. It spooked all the officers working at the time. Station boss Sheikh Abdul adds this. Sheikh Abdullah insisted the door opened because of a technical fault. He said, "I have confirmed that the doors in the police station opened and one broke, but I have not received any reports just yet. The incident may be affected by wind pressure, and I am still waiting for the reports from the policemen present at the scene." It's been 7 years, but still, there were no signs of technical fault or any human behind this. It was a paranormal activity that still haunts the officers working on late-night shifts there. In these chilling encounters, the police thought they were dealing with normal disturbances, but what they found was far from ordinary. From ghostly shadows to people vanishing into thin air, these moments remind us that some mysteries can't be explained. When the cops realized they were facing something supernatural, it was already too late. What they encountered was beyond this world, leaving them haunted by the unknown. Being a cop is not an easy job. You are required to be at the forefront of any dangers, regardless of whether you are scared or not. Let's take a look at some of the unexplainable things cops see when out on patrol. In the early hours of August 13th, 2018, Christopher Lee Watt gruesomely murdered his pregnant wife, Shannon, and their 2 daughters, Celeste and Bella, by suffocation, the actual details of which are very disturbing. The Watts family case is one that leaves a chill down anyone's spine when it's been told. When police were dispatched to this residence, they had no idea that the events they witnessed would forever change their lives.
So there's your attic access right there. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What in the world is that?
Wow.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came from.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It might. It sort of sounds like it.
Something. There was a... I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Just a month after, police were called back because neighbors reported that they have on numerous occasions seen what appears to be a woman moving around the home, and the garage lights which left off were switched on despite the house being uninhabited for over a month. Another YouTuber, Franco TV, was passing by and stopped to drop a teddy bear and his well wishes at the doorstep alongside those of others when he captured something very peculiar on his camera.
Seeing what we can see. This should actually be pretty interesting. Hold on, let me put the cam away for a second. That's the house through the thermal. This thing is awesome. I think I'm the only one. I don't know if that was me, but I think I saw... You know what's weird? Look at the front, the top window to the right. That one's the only one that it looks like there's something behind it.
Despite having heat signals that something or someone is definitely behind that window, when switched back to normal camera, nothing is captured. This is footage obtained from Franco TV.
Alright, so right now, this video footage is only just so I could get a high definition footage. I'm going to be recording with a different camera on my thermal imaging, because unfortunately I can't take the videos off of it. So, this is just to show you that both windows are open. That's the window that I was seeing weird movement from. And apparently these two rooms, what I just read online, was the two little girls' rooms. What the hell is that? What is that? Does that look like someone with their head in their hand holding against the window? Look, and now it's changing. There it goes. What the hell am I seeing? Again, this is coming straight from an infrared perspective. Look, it looks like somebody else just came in on the far left.
Visibly shaken by what this could mean, and how these two realities could possibly be the truth at the same time, he quickly heads out of there, having dropped off his bear and his well wishes. As the case unfolded, it was discovered that Christopher had buried Shannon in a shallow grave near the oil storage facility and dumped his children's bodies in crude oil tanks. Let's take a look at what this camera captures when this unsuspecting man was out on a hike. It's so fast that you might miss it. If you missed it, don't worry. This is when it slowed down and zoomed in. When out on patrol, this officer hears something unexpected coming from the distance, and he doesn't even wait before fleeing in the opposite direction. While also out on patrol at a cemetery, late in the night, these officers hear unidentified noises which sound way too close for comfort. Something terrifying is going on in the woods. Oftentimes, hikers have stories to tell of their experiences in the woods. Oftentimes, no one believes them, but luckily this was captured on camera.
Oh my God.
Here's one footage that still keeps people up at night. It was posted by a creator, Livewire, as he unexpectedly captured some disturbing images on his camera. Terrified of what is out there and left to fend for itself, the dog tries to draw attention to the fact that something otherworldly is going on. Whatever it saw must have stunned it into silence, but soon enough you see it too. The closer you look into the forests, just left of the utility pole, you see what appears to be 3 or 4 dark shadows lurking, but this isn't the most creepy occurrence. This short clip was captured by a woman in Scotland who was setting up camp for the night. Little did she know she was not alone. Pay close attention to the trees on your left, slightly above the branch lying on the ground. Although the images of the ghosts are very subtle, they are there. When this video was first released, there was many controversies about what was seen, but certainly it is there. Went out hunting on the 3rd of October and heard something unsettling in the woods. Although he was alone, what was heard could be likened to the cry of a human child. What would you do in this situation? Oftentimes these sightings are things that the human eye cannot properly grasp, and the brain tells us to ignore. After watching this video, would you go hiking? If you love true crimes, then subscribe to this channel to see more content like this.